Spring had arrived with a burst of color and
life, but there was something off about this.
particular spring. As the days grew longer and the flowers bloomed,
An eerie energy seemed to linger in the air.
casting a shadow over the season of renewal. One sunny afternoon, I decided to take a walk
Through the nearby forest, eager to bask in the
warmth of the sun and the beauty of nature. The trees swayed gently in the breeze, their branches adorned with fresh green leaves and
delicate blossoms. Birds sang sweet melodies, and the air was thick.
with the scent of blooming flowers.
Yet, as I ventured deeper into the woods, sense of unease crept over me,
The normally bustling forest was eerily quiet.
devoid of the usual chatter of wildlife. The sunlight filtering through the canopy took on a strange, muted quality, casting long, twisted shadows on the forest floor. I pressed on, my footsteps echoing in the
Silence. The path ahead seemed to stretch endlessly into the distance, the trees closing in around me
like silent sentinels. The air grew colder, despite the warmth of the sun, and a chill ran down my spine. As I walked, I stumbled upon a clearing bathed
in dappled sunlight. In the center stood a circle of ancient-looking stones, their surfaces weathered and worn with
age. A feeling of foreboding washed over me as I approached, the hairs on the back of my neck
standing on end. I hesitated, unsure of what to do next. The stones seemed to pulsate with an
otherworldly energy, and I could hear faint
whispers carried on the breeze.
They beckoned to me, calling me closer with each passing moment. Against my better judgment, I stepped into the
Circle of stones, feeling a strange tingling.
sensation spread through my body.
The whispers grew louder, filling my mind with fragmented thoughts and half-formed images.
Suddenly, the ground beneath me began to
Tremble, and the air crackled with electricity.
A thick mist enveloped the clearing, obscuring my vision and disorienting my senses.
Panic surged through me as I realized I was no
Longer alone.
Shadowy figures emerged from the mist, their forms twisted and distorted. They seemed to be made of darkness itself, their
Eyes gleaming with an otherworldly light.
They advanced towards me, their movement slow
and deliberate. With a surge of adrenaline, I turned and fled from the clearing, the whispers echoing in my ears.
The forest seemed to conspire against me, the trees reaching out with gnarled branches to block my path.
I pushed through, my heart pounding in my chest,
until I finally broke free from the oppressive darkness.
As I stumbled into the sunlight, gasping for
breath, I realized that I had
escaped something far more sinister than I could
have ever imagined. Spring, once a time of renewal and rebirth, had revealed its darker side, a realm of shadows and secrets that lurked just beneath the surface
of the natural world.
And as I looked back at the forest, I couldn't shake the feeling that it was watching me,
waiting for my return to claim me as its own.
Spring had arrived, and with it came a sense of anticipation for warmer days and the promise of new beginnings. But as the flowers bloomed and the trees
regained their vibrant green, there was something unsettling lurking beneath
the surface of this seemingly idyllic season.
I had always loved taking walks through the
nearby park, especially in spring when nature
was at its most beautiful.
One afternoon, I decided to venture out for a stroll, eager to soak in the sights and sounds of the season.
As I wandered along the winding paths, a feeling of unease crept over me.
The park, usually bustling with activity, was eerily quiet. The birdsong that typically filled the air was noticeably absent, replaced by a heavy silence
that seemed to hang like a thick fog. Despite the warmth of the sun, a chill ran down my spine as I made my way deeper into the park. The once vibrant colors of the flowers and trees
now appeared muted and dull, as if drained of their vitality. I reached a secluded area of the park where a
small pond lay nestled among the trees.
The water, usually crystal clear, was murky and still, reflecting the grey sky above like a
mirror.
A sense of foreboding washed over me as I gazed into its depths, feeling as though something
sinister lurked just beneath the surface. As I turned to leave, a movement caught my eye.
Shadowy figure standing at the edge of the pond,
its form obscured by the surrounding trees.
My heart leaped into my throat as I watched, frozen in fear, unsure of what to do. The figure seemed to beckon to me, its movements slow and deliberate. With each step I took, the sense of dread grew stronger, like a weight pressing down on my chest. I forced myself to turn and run, the sound of my footsteps echoing through the empty park. The air seemed to grow colder with each passing moment, and a feeling of being pursued gnawed at the edges of my consciousness. I reached the park entrance and stumbled out onto the street, gasping for breath. The sunlight felt harsh and unforgiving, casting long shadows that seemed to stretch out towards me like grasping fingers. As I walked away from the park, I couldn't shake the feeling that I had narrowly escaped something dark and malevolent. Spring, once a season of hope and renewal, had revealed its darker side, a reminder that even in the midst of beauty, there lurked unseen dangers waiting to ensnare the unwary.